everybody. Yes, welcome back to another hot episode of a very special podcast. This is the podcast in which you talk about your favorite TV series from yesteryear and then discuss them over a glass of wine. I'm your host with the most, Patrick M. Dunn. Perhaps you know me from the previous galaxy of episodes. And I'm joined here today, Gobble Gobble, by Queen of Thanksgiving, Kat Halstead, the author, the pie maker. And Nanny? I don't know, you're babysitting this week, so I don't know. Babysitter.
Hello, everybody.
How are you this holiday season?
Yeah.
You're full into things now, right? Full into this holiday cheer and cheers?
Oh, totally. Full on into the holiday cheer and trying to get hours at work.
Yeah, you're deep into Hallmark movies right now, I bet. Watching all the classics and the new ones.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, ready? You're ready for a little season of chairs? Wrapping gifts?
Yes, I'm down. I've already, started buying wrapping paper. I went to the Dollar Tree in Haxton, was like, I want this wrapping paper for my present.
Ooh, what kind? What kind of wrapping paper was it, girl?
It was Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer wrapping paper. Because he likes the snowman. He likes the abominable snowman.
Oh, yeah. Big fan of him and Yukon Cornelius. Shout out to Yukon Cornelius. And Herman the Elf.
Hermie.
Big fan of him, too. And
it's not Herman, it's Hermie.
Oh, is it actually just Hermie?
It's Hermie.
Oh, I thought it was Herman. I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen it. I haven't seen it since I was 28.
That's been a while.
That is a while because we're old as fuck now. We're entering our twilight years.
I need that doctor.
Sorry.
Any single doctors listening, hit me up at CatDVS.
And you know what? They might find this episode because tonight we are going to talk about doctors. What are we doing tonight, Kat Halstead, the author?
We are doing an episode of ER. Yay!
Yes, ER. We're going back into the world of ER. This is another prequel to our future ER podcast called Set the Tone, which we haven't quite mapped out yet, but it's coming, girl. No. It's coming.
It's coming.
One of these days, you get to hear the stories of Nurse Carol, Doug Ross, Romano, Carter, Abby, Stephanie.
Speaking of Romano, I think my attitude is going to be a little different during this one than it was during the last ER episode, based on who our characters are.
Yes. All right. So this is our second time doing ER. We did a very early. We did second season last time. I think was it?
It was season 2 last year, Christmas.
It was it was very early. It was early in the show's run. That's what I knew.
Mm-hmm.
So this time we're deep now. It's 2003. What's this, season 10 maybe or something?
Yeah, we're in season 10, episode 8. By now, Doug and Carol are gone. Mark has died. Benson has gone.
Linda Cardellini has joined the show.
Yeah, Susan is back after having left. This is kind of towards the start of Carter's self-discovery.
So I just want to bring something up. This episode aired 15 years ago today. The date it was recorded, November 20th, 2003. So happy 15 years.
Oh my God, we finally did it.
Yeah, we finally matched up something, and not on purpose. Not on purpose.
Oh my God. If you get this episode out tonight, that'll be amazing.
All right. Well, we have another episode we have to release, but maybe I'll do a double header. Well, we'll figure it out.
Oh, that's right. We do need... Crap, how is that not up yet?
Yeah. All right. Maybe after we finish recording, maybe I'll do a double header. I'll get them both out, and our fans will be joyful that there's 2 apps released on the same day. But if this doesn't happen, I apologize in advance. But do you want to talk about this night of television?
Yeah, what was on this night of television in November 20th, 2003?
This is a wild night of television. This is the wildest night of television ever. You want to start off with ABC, the alphabet?
Yeah, it was on ABC.
All right, 8 p.m., The Bachelor.
Okay, who was our Bachelor at this time?
I didn't do the legwork. You want me to do some hot legwork right now?
No, that's okay. I just thought maybe you knew.
It's season 4. All right, we're in Bachelor season 4, so let's find out. It'll only take me a hot second. Wikipedia is right here. Is
it Bachelor
Bob? Bob Guinea, yes, Bachelor Bob. Shout out to Bob Guinea.
Yes. Oh, Bachelor Bob.
The winner was Estella Gardner. I don't know how to say her name. And Kelly Jo Kahursky was the runner-up. And yeah, I guess Bachelor Bob Guinea, broke up with Estella shortly after, but Bob later married to soap opera star Rebecca Budig, but they split after 5 years of marriage. Who's Rebecca Budig? How do you say her name?
Budig.
Bedig? Is that how you say it?
Budig. Yeah. Okay, she played Michelle on Guiding Light. She played Greenlee on All My Children, which is like her claim to fame in this, like, that's the role that people are like, yes. And then she played Hayden on General Hospital.
Oh, so she is making the soap opera rounds.
Yeah.
You want to hear some hot scoops about Rebecca Jo Bedig?
Budig, yes.
How do you say it? Budig?
Budding.
Buddin. It's Budig. There's no N.
Budding.
All right, well, whatever. However you say her name. Her first acting job was in Aerosmith's music video, Living on the Edge.
Okay.
And then she later had a cameo role as a teenage girl saved by Chris O'Donnell's character, Dick Grayson, in Batman Forever. Ooga.
Okay.
Wild stuff. So, I don't know, I just thought that was funny. And she was also on Out of Practice, which is that hot Christopher Gorham, Ty Burrell, Stucker Channing, Paula Marshall show.
Yes!
So...
Oh, I love me some Out of Practice. I gotta watch that.
That was our Thanksgiving show last year.
It's time for my Thanksgiving episode rewatch.
Flashback to last Thanksgiving's episode of Very Special Podcast. Shout out to that. All right. All right, you ready for more TV that night?
Yes, please.
All right, 9 p.m. Peter Jennings reporting the Kennedy assassination. It's the anniversary of the Kennedy assassination. This must have been the 40th year, I think.
Sounds about right.
Because it was 1963, so 70, 80, 90. Yeah, the 40th anniversary of the Kennedy assassination.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe we got to see video clips of Jackie O and Caroline and JFK Jr. and Lee Harvey Oswald. Mm-hmm. I can only imagine the screenshots. But yeah, shout out to the Kennedys. Call us one day. Tell us some fun stories about Maria Shriver. All right, you ready for CBS?
Yes, please.
All right, do you have any guesses? Do you have any wild guesses? It's a Thursday night, 8 o'clock.
2003? I have no idea.
Survivor.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Survivor. We don't watch it. We love Big Brother. So fuck you, Survivor. Get out of our radars.
I just find Survivor to be boring.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of Survivor. I just wish it was more like we get to see it as it's going on, like we see with Big Brother. Instead, we just get these like packaged episodes.
Yeah, like I've tried to watch Survivor and I've fallen asleep.
I think the problem with Survivor is that they know in advance who the winner is, so they kind of like edit the episodes gearing towards the end.
Yeah, they don't have the the element of surprise that Big Brother has.
Yeah, so I don't know, but
and anything that comes up, they can kind of manage while it's happening, and it doesn't leak out the way it would with Big Brother.
Yeah, so if Caleb Reynolds, I don't know, gets dehydration on Survivor, we'll hear about it because he's in a hospital in America, and it's like, why is he back in America?
Yeah, he
should be on Survivor. What's he doing? All right, you ready for us? CBS 9 o'clock. Do you have any guesses? Thursday night.
I have no clue. I, in all honesty, have no idea.
We were in college at this time, I think, right?
Yeah, we were in college at this time, so it was we probably were not watching as much TV regularly, except for okay, it's Thursday night. I was watching Friends. That's what I know I was watching.
Thursday night was a going out night for me.
I would watch Friends, and then my friends and I would do stuff after that,
Yeah. But
I was actually very social in college.
Yeah. We had friends, we had lives. We went out and drank margaritas in actual bars and not at home.
Yeah. We didn't go buy Chi-Chi's pre-made margarita mix.
Yeah. We danced to Beyonce's Dangerously in Love. We shaked our hips to Kia, My Neck, My Back, My Pussy, and My Crack. We had fun times back in 2003.
The amount of times I've heard that song in my life.
But now
at the club, oh my god.
All right, 9 p.m. CBS CSI Crime Scene Investigation. Ooga. Which was a show I never really watched.
Yeah, see, okay, that's not what College Cat was watching. I had a friend who actually watched it in college.
Really?
And I was like, really? She would watch that, and then she'd join us out while we were drinking.
You know what? I enjoyed CSI Miami because I like David Caruso, but regular CSI, I've watched it a few times. Like, I'm into the forensic world. One day, maybe I'd like to be a forensic scientist. Mm-hmm. I don't know. The show is all glamour and glitz. It's not real life. It's like, they find cameras, they can zoom in real close and de-blur the picture.
Yeah.
Not real, girl. Not real.
I know.
But I did catch the later seasons when Ted Danson was on it.
Yeah.
I did watch a few of those because I'm a big Danson fan.
I love me some Ted Danson.
Shout out to Ted Danson. Shout out to The Good Place. Yeah, all right. You ready for CBS 10 o'clock?
Sure. I honestly can't even think what it could have been.
I didn't realize this show was on this far back without a trace.
Really? Okay.
I feel like this was like more recent, but I guess not. I guess this was on in 2003.
I used to watch this one like on a Saturday night replay or something.
I'm not gonna lie. Which
work.
which one is Without a Trace again? Is this the missing people?
Actually, if I'm thinking of the right one, I think it's the one where like with the missing people who like it had the blonde lady as the star.
Poppy Montgomery? Is it Poppy Montgomery?
No, it wasn't Poppy.
Oh, who was it then?
It was like someone named Catherine, and she spelled it the right way.
The right way, the way that you spell it.
Yes, which is the correct way.
All right. Yeah, I never watched the show. I don't know much about it, and I felt like this show was on like a few years ago, but maybe I'm confusing it with The Mentalist.
I mean, The Mentalist was on like a while ago too, though, dude.
I don't know. You know what? I like once 2000 hit, my concept of time became blurred because like time just goes by too quick. Mm-hmm. All right, but are you ready for Fox?
Yeah.
All right, this is hot. I definitely watched both of these shows. 8 p.m. True Calling. Did you ever watch True Calling?
No.
This had Eliza Dushku in it and Jason Priestley. And Eliza Dushku has like the ability to like, she can go back in time like 5 days or something, and she like solves crimes.
Okay.
So like someone will get like murdered in her neighborhood, and then like all of a sudden like she'll like see the body, and like the body will come back to life briefly as a ghost and be like, "Save me, True," because her name is True. And then all of a sudden she'll blink, and it'll be like a few days before the murder, and she has to like stop the murder from happening. So it was that kind of show. And Jason Priestley was in it, and he was kind of like the opposite of her, and he was like trying to make the murders happen. So they were like at odds. You know, it was a fun show. I think it was only on for like 2 seasons though. It was cute. I enjoyed it.
Okay, I just have to make a correction real quick. Without a Trace was the one with Poppy Montgomery.
Okay.
I was getting it confused with Cold Case, which had Catherine Morris as the lead.
Oh yeah, Cold Case. I forgot about Cold Case. Was that around the same time as this?
Yeah, they were around the same time.
Yeah, CBS loves itself a good crime procedural.
Yeah, like they are like Without a Trace started in 2002,
Right.
and ended in 2009. Cold Case started in 2003 and ended in 2010.
Okay. When was The Mentalist on? Do you have that hot data while we're on the subject?
I can find it. Just give me a hot second. That one started 2008 to 2015.
Okay, yeah. See, I felt like it was like more recent.
Oh, you know what I was thinking of? I was thinking of that one with I think maybe it was Numbers, is what I was thinking of when you said The Mentalist.
Yeah, with what's his name? David Krumholtz or something?
Yeah, with Rob Morrow.
That was the one like the guy solved crime with math.
Which was 2005 to 2010.
Yeah, shout out to solving crimes with math.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah. CBS loved this shit. They fucking loved themselves like a good gimmick to solve crimes. All right, you ready for our Fox 9 o'clock?
Okay, hit me with it.
All right. The OC.
Okay, if I was watching something at 9 o'clock, it was probably The OC.
Yeah. You went home real quick. You had yourself a good fix of Ryan and Marissa, and then you went back out to the bar and partied. Shout out to the OC. We have to revisit that. It's been a while since we've last gone back into that world. I think there's a maybe we'll have to do Chrismica again. Maybe we'll have to do the second Chrismica. Add it to the list, Kat. Add it to the list.
Add it to the list.
All right, you ready for NBC?
The list that is probably really a million pages long if we actually wrote everything we said. Add to the list.
Yeah, we got a long ass list. This list is like a CVS receipt. All right, you ready for it?
Okay, so we get the OC and what else?
That's it for Fox. You ready for NBC? You want to end the night?
There's nothing on the CW, WB, UPN, whatever it was back then?
UPN had SmackDown, and I don't know. WB had Jamie Kennedy Experiment and What I Like About You. I never watched this shit, so I don't want to talk about it, but
Okay,
I do want
yeah.
to talk about NBC. I'm ready for NBC.
Okay, give me NBC.
All right, 8 to 9, we get a full hour of Friends. Ooga.
Woo! Friends!
Yeah, Rachel and Ross and Lisa Kudrow's character. I figured her name. What's her name?
Monica, Phoebe.
Oh, yeah, Phoebe. Sorry, Phoebe. Call me and slap me across the face. And then at 9 o'clock, Will and Grace, the first run, the first go-around of Will and Grace. And then followed by Will and Grace. Do you have any guesses?
ER. Or is it a comedy? Was it a full hour of Will and Grace, or was it a half hour?
Just a half hour, but it was a half-hour comedy. And this is one of my favorite hospital shows of all time. I know you disagree. It stars our gal pal, Sarah Chuck, Scrubs.
I just don't think Scrubs is funny.
I'm sorry, I'm choking. I enjoy it.
I just missed the ball on that one.
I mean, I get it. Like, Zach Braff isn't for everybody.
So, yeah.
All right, and we're going to end the night with ER, the episode we're doing tonight, Freefall. I love when we just roll into, like, the subject.
Yes.
With the last thing that was on that night. Yeah, so. I know I'm ready for this. I have so many things to talk about tonight, and...
Where do we begin with this crazy, wild episode? I don't even know where to begin.
All right, this episode is a whirlwind affair. So it starts off, it's Thursday in the ER. It's Thanksgiving Day. They're short-staffed, despite there being like a million people around in the background that look like they work there. They're short-staffed.
No, wait. We gotta talk about the, Abby working on that patient with Romano watching on.
Okay, yeah, all right.
We gotta talk about that, because that just leads up to every Abby thing in this freaking episode.
Right, so, yeah, I want to talk about this. So the episode starts off, and it looks like that, they're in the middle of, like a code. They're doing chest compressions. They're putting drugs in. They're trying to save someone's life. And it turns out it's just like a mega code. It's just kind of like a simulation, which they do in hospitals. Time to time, we're required to do mega codes. And Abby failed it. Abby, she's a fourth-year med student at this point in time.
I think so, yeah.
I believe. So she had to step down as the nurse and supervisor, right?
But she still works nursing shifts on the weekend.
All right, yeah. All right. I want to talk about this. It's physically impossible to go to med school and, like, work at the same time. Like, there's like, you are hurting yourself if you're doing this. Especially, like, working in an ER as a nurse. Like, you just have to stop. You have to, like, all right, take out some loans or something to pay your rent, or, I don't know, find yourself a sugar daddy, but you're basically doing a disservice to yourself and your future patients by working full-time and trying to go to med school, because there's so much shit you're going to do. And especially working in an ER. Like, if you're going to work, maybe be like a waitress or something and, like, get tips.
Well, I mean...
That's my hot take on it.
I think that's the crux of Abby, though. She's always doing herself a disservice.
Yeah. And, all right.
And she's a cocky little bitch.
Do we like Abby?
I hate Abby. Like, there are people who love Abby. I am not one of those people. Like, Abby is the worst. Like, these episodes... Like, once Abby shows up, ER gets really hard for me to watch until she's gone. She leaves, and it's like, this negative energy around the series is gone.
Dissipates.
So, I don't know.
I think, like, the first go-around of the show, I think I liked Abby. Well, I think I just like Maura Tierney. Like, I'm just, like, a big Maura Tierney fan. Like, I don't know, I think she's great. But...
I mean, I loved her as Lisa on News Radio, but as Abby, I'm like, no, bitch, go away.
I think, like, when she first came into the show... she was, like, overshadowed by, like, bigger stars. So it's like you only saw Abby in, like, smaller doses. But, like, now it's, like, the Abby show. I think we're at that point now where they're trying to make her the focal point.
Yeah, it basically becomes the Abby show.
Yeah, and when I was watching this episode, it's been a while since I've seen an Abby episode. So I was like, I fucking hate Abby. Like, Abby sucks. She failed the mega code. I'm not, like, a licensed nurse. I'm not a doctor. And I had to do a mega code, like, at my work, and my patient survived. So I'm like, fucking Abby. Like, you're in medical school. You've been a nurse forever. Your patient should not die. Like, nobody is supposed to die in a mega code. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, it's supposed to be a happy end. It's a simulation. And your fucking patient died. So, I don't know. You suck.
Part of me wants to be like, okay, Romano's being an ass and is like, oh, you're doing it wrong. But at the same time, I'm like, you know what, Abby? I think you need to, like, reevaluate yourself here.
I don't know. Maybe you're better off as a nurse. Maybe become a nurse practitioner instead.
Yeah, like, that's what she probably should have done, but she actually does eventually become a doctor.
I feel sorry for fake Chicago.
Well, she eventually moves to Boston with Luca.
Well, I feel sorry for fake Bosnia as well. But, all right. I want to bring up one thing. So after the Mecha Code, Abby is assigned, and this is, like, considered, like, when you get assigned one of these patients, it's like everyone's pissed. She gets a vag problem patient, a vag bleeding patient, which everyone hates a vag bleed. That's, like, the last thing you want. So it's like, oh, God, I'm stuck with a vag bleed. No one wants a vag bleed. So she gets this, like, one patient. She's HIV positive, I believe. Is that?
Yeah.
Early in the pregnancy, right? Like, she's like, what, like 10 weeks or something?
Yeah, she's HIV positive and pregnant.
Abby does a lot of, like, one-on-ones with her, and this woman starts bleeding out, and I don't know, Abby has these, like, ideas. She's like, I think we should do this, and I don't know, people are second-guessing her. I feel like it's because she's a woman. People are second-guessing her.
Here's the thing. Abby was originally a nurse up in obstetrics. So she kind of gets this attitude that she knows more about this than the ER doctors. Than even the OB doctor that comes down. Which is like, bitch, no, you were the nurse.
Well, I don't know, like, I do think Abby is shitty, like, she's a shitty character, but I was kind of, like, getting mad that, like, she was right, like, you know, she knew there was something wrong with this patient, and no one, like, would listen to her, which is, that part annoyed me about it. Like, I was like, you know what, like, sometimes you just gotta, like, you might not agree with their initial assessment, but consider it and maybe do, like, the further testing. It's just, like, I know it's like a pissing contest at this point, but, like, working in a hospital is not the place to, like, have a pissing contest, because you're dealing with, like, someone's life, in the life of a potential child.
Exactly.
That kind of annoyed me. I was kind of, like, annoyed. I was like, all right, like, you know, just listen to fucking Abby. She sucks, but she has an opinion. She has an idea. She suspects something's up, and this bitch, like, almost bleeds out.
She, like, passes out from blood loss while talking to Abby.
And I didn't mean to call her a bitch. I'm sorry. This fictional character that I called a bitch.
Yeah.
For bleeding out. My apologies. Don't at me. But if you want to, you can. Call me out, Twitter. Call me out at Very Podcast.
Remember, you're calling out Patrick, not Kat.
All right. And then I want to bring up another thing. I forgot. Actually, I don't think I ever knew this. Glenn Howerton is on the show from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Is he playing one of the interns?
I think so. He's one of the guys in the green scrubs. So is that an intern in this world?
Yeah, I think he's an intern.
Yeah. So shout out to him.
Because, okay, so, like, they brought on these 3 interns with Neela and Abby. And it's, like, Archie and those other 2 guys. And I remember at first really liking those other 2 guys. Like, one's really competent, but he has asthma, so he's just not, like, made to be in the ER in disaster situations. But, like, he and Archie were, like, best friends, and, like, these 2 guys just disappear. And we keep Archie instead.
ER is that kind of show. Like, the cast is already bloated enough, and you get a lot of guest stars that come in and out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could see, like, being an actor, and, you know, you get, like, a job on ER, and it's like, all right, like, unless people, like, instantly love me, and I'm, like, well-loved by fans and the rest of the cast, I probably will disappear very quickly. Yeah, so, but shout out to Glenn Howerton for being on the show. He probably, like, started to develop It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia very briefly after this. So that's probably why he left. Because I think Sunny came out in, like, 2005.
Yeah, I think that sounds about right for how long that show's been around.
Yeah. So they were probably, like, I don't know, maybe getting ready to film the pilot. So he's like, all right, fuck this show. I don't want to be a fake doctor anymore. And the character, I don't know, finished his internship and went on somewhere else. Maybe he went over to Chicago Hope. Who knows?
Or he just got on different shifts than what we would see.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, he was like the opposite track, maybe. All right.
Yeah, he's like on a different shift. He like ended his ER rotation. Was like, okay, I'm out. I'm gonna go here now.
One other thing I want to bring up. So they decided to, like, in the ER, it must have been like a buffet. They had like on like a potluck dinner or something. So everyone like brought in food. It bothered me that they had like the buffet table like in like the middle of the ER. Like it was like right there.
They just didn't want to put that set up with like, yeah.
Yeah. So hot scoop. If you're new to the podcast, I work in an ER. And we occasionally have potlucks. We do dinners and things like that. But we respectable people, will put the food in the break room. And, you might, like, bring a plate out to the nurse's station maybe. But we're not just going to, like, leave the food, like, out in the area where, pneumonia and flu patients are around. I don't know. Like, you don't want to smell food. Like, you're a patient. And I don't know. It's a respectable thing to do. But I guess didn't have the set built for the break room anymore. I don't know. Who knows? All right, can we talk about Romano?
Yes, let's talk about Romano.
I never liked him. I'm just gonna throw this out in the open. I don't know how you feel about him.
Same.
He was on the show for like 4 or 5 years, maybe.
Something like that. Not very long. Like, he came in during season 3 or 4.
Maybe, I don't know. I can't remember, but I definitely.
I want to say he came in. He was there the first, like, that season Lucy died. So he had to have been here. He came in like season 4, I think.
Yeah, so he was kind of like a side character for a little while. Then he became like a principal cast member.
Mm-hmm.
And this episode, like, he's a huge jerk in this episode. He fucking sucks. Like,
okay, can we be real? 98% of the time, Romano is a huge jerk. I think there are only 2 instances where he, like, shows any, like, humanity throughout the series.
So he's a dick.
And, like, one is when Lucy died.
So I'm watching this episode, and I'm like, it's going on, and I'm like, oh, I forgot how much I hated Romano. Romano sucked. And then, like, as it went on, I was like, wait, is this that episode? Is this the episode where he dies? And then I'm like, I think it is. And there were just so many weird little like foreshadowing moments that I was like, I think this is it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Like, what gets me is he's running around and he's, like, out here trying to get rid of Pratt. And he's got it in for Greg. Now, again, Pratt is not one of my favorite doctors on the series, because I do think he's kind of a dick as well.
But it was like one of those things where Pratt was right about something. Like,
Pratt was right. Romano was being a dick, and
he just wanted to get him fired.
Yeah, like, he just wanted to get him fired. And then you've got, like, to be fair, Pratt's also dealing with Archie, who's, like, I don't even know how Archie has made it through medical school at this point. But I will say that Archie does become a really good doctor in the end.
We kind of get, like, 20 minutes of Romano being a dick. He's, like, mean to every fucking staff member in this episode.
Yeah.
Like, he just walks into a room, criticizes you, tells you you're horrible, threatens to fire you. I don't know, like, one of his, like, rich friends is a patient. Is he a pneumonia patient? Does he have, like, pneumonia or something?
Yeah, like, he's a pneumonia or something. Like,
No. He was in a bad accident, right? Was that his guy?
Like, it was something like he's an important person in Chicago. It's, like, not the worst, like, thing going on, but because he's so wealthy, he's got to have his private doctor in a private hospital. He doesn't feel like he should be at county, even though that's where the ambulance took him, kind of thing.
Yeah, so Pratt thinks there's something, like, something's off about this patient. It's this wealthy guy, and Pratt's like, I don't know, I think we should do, like, I don't think he's stable enough to be transferred. I think we should keep him on site. There's just something weird. I think we need to do, like, further testing.
Like, there's probably, like, a gut instinct in Pratt that something bad is going to happen to this guy, but he doesn't know what it is. Like, Like, if they didn't transfer him.
Yeah, Romano's like, no, this guy's, like, my friend. He makes a lot of money. You guys are shitty doctors here. I want him to go to, like, a great place. So they arrange for, like, air transportation.
Yeah.
And a helicopter, lands on the helipad. And it's a extra windy day here in Chicago.
The Windy City.
Yep. That's why they call it the Windy City, because it's so windy in Chicago. So the helicopter kind of gets, like, caught in this, like, wind burst or something, and it loses control.
Well, hold on. Okay, so the rich guy forgets his watch in the ER because they took it off, and Frank, the clerk, is like, oh, somebody's got to bring this to him before he, like, leaves because it's a Rolex, and he gives it to Romano. Romano's like, bitch, I'm not going to the roof.
Oh yeah, because something bad happened to Romano on the roof.
Yeah, Romano lost his hand via a helicopter on the roof. So Neela's like, I'll do it, but I don't know where the helicopter. She's been there for weeks. How do you not know where the helicopter goes at this point?
I work in a hospital. Hospitals are big. They're very big. And they're very windy. They're very maze-like. Like, you can work there, you just work in the ER, and you probably never leave the ER just because it's so fucking crazy. So someone's like, can you bring this? Someone, every now and then, somebody like, can you go down to, like, can you go to medical records? Can you go here? And I'm just like, I don't fucking know what these places are. Like, I never go to these places. So I understand her. Like, I've worked at my ER for 2 years, and I still don't know how to get around my hospital. So
Yeah.
So I don't blame her. I want to bring that up.
Yeah, so Romano takes her up, and he's like having full on panic attack.
Yeah, so he doesn't leave the elevator. The elevator opens up. He sees the helicopter. He has like a flashback. We see his arm get cut off.
To like losing his arm, yeah. And Neil's like, "Aren't you coming?" And he's like, "Bitch, no." Fuck no. And she like goes out there like it's no big deal. And it's just fascinating to me. And Romano like gets that elevator down and he's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. He needs air, and he goes outside. And that's where he catches Archie smoking pot.
Yeah, so Archie had a patient that, I don't know, had some like breathing issues, but I guess he was also a pot smoker.
Well, it was like some kind of eye thing going on. And like, I guess the guy's grandson.
Glaucoma,
maybe not even glaucoma, like some kind of like eye surgery or something. And the grandson was like, here, smoke some pot. That'll be better than this medicine. But like the pot wasn't doing anything for like the pain or whatever the medicine was supposed to do. So Archie like confiscated the pot and gave him a prescription. It was like, take this instead.
Yeah, so Archie was having a stressful day. He goes outside. He, I don't know, rolls a joint, starts smoking it. Romano catches him.
Like, he gets barely like one puff.
Yeah, he had like one puff, and he's like, go inside. He's like, we're going to talk about this. Like, he basically was going to fire him.
Yeah, he's like, go inside, sit at the admit desk until I come back.
So he stayed outside.
So Archie does what he's told, and everybody, like, in Pratt gets mad at him.
Romano goes outside. He just is chilling, and that's when the wind gust blows the helicopter off course. The helicopter, like, crashes into the building, explodes, falls on Romano, killing him.
He didn't even attempt to run. He's like, oh shit, this is my fate.
He just watches that, like he already got his arm chopped off once by a helicopter, and now one's fallen on him. So, you know what? I guess the moral of the story is don't be a shitty doctor.
Final destination right there. Final destination type shit right there.
Don't be a shitty doctor is the moral of the story, because if you are,
don't be an asshole.
Whatever you are afraid of will kill you. Yeah. So be good to your staff. That's all I gotta say. I'm being passively aggressive right now because I might be talking about specific people I work with.
I have no comment.
Okay. So now the ER is in like a frenzy because there's just like people injured everywhere. Yeah. You got people with like shrapnel in their back, and now they're doing like a triage system. So they're like, do like put red on someone's like back of like they need immediate attention. Put yellow sticker on their back of like they can wait a little bit, and put a black one of they're dead, which is just like a scary thing to do. Like, because it's like, all right, like who do you help? You gotta triage these people, and just try to save the people that you can, basically. So just look for the red stickers, and this is all going on. You got people like there was like a patient that was like in. She was like heart failure.
Cardiac, like she was having like a cardiac episode, and there's people who were leaving after like a turkey carving incident. And,
so it's just like chaos in the ER, and just so much shit going on, and it's just they're trying to save lives, trying to attend to like the patients that they've been dealing with, and it's insanity. It's absolute chaos, and it kind of ends with like. Everyone's like, where's Romano? Like, where's Romano? Like, no one knows where he is at this point.
Where the hell did Romano go? And, like, at one point, the ER thinks he's up in the OR. The OR thinks he's down in the ER.
Yeah, so there's so much stuff going on. And the episode ends kind of ambiguously because no one knows that he's dead. And I think it's, like, a few more episodes before they realize it?
Yeah, they don't know that he is this charred body under the helicopter.
Yeah, like, they can't even... Isn't it like the next episode they're still not even able to identify him? Is it like a little bit?
I didn't watch it's been a while since I watched the episode after this. Like, I started to, but then I had to pay attention to my nephew.
I feel like there's an episode where he's just missing and they just don't know where he is and they just think he like abandoned them.
You know, the next episode is called Missing.
Okay, so maybe that's it. Like they just don't know where he is because like I feel like they would not be able to identify that body because it probably just was like burned and crushed by a helicopter.
Well, I feel like there's got to be like some kind of identifier, like the melted arm.
You gotta say that again. You broke up. So I'm sorry.
A serial number on his like arm or something, you know?
His fake arm. Oh, it probably burned up in the fire. Well, I guess they would find a body without like a missing limb, so that might be a telltale sign.
They figure it out eventually.
Are we missing anything? Did we cover everything? Is there anything else going on?
We have okay. There's the Susan and Chuck stuff. So Chuck is this guy who Susan met on the way to Vegas, and they got married in Vegas. They got divorced, but they started dating, and she's at that point where she's like, do I want to be with him? Am I just like set? Like she's a little unsure of herself at the moment with him.
Is Chuck Donald Logue?
Yes.
Okay. I like him.
And he is like a helicopter nurse.
Yes. And I guess he was supposed to be on the flight, but they insisted for some reason.
So he's usually the pilot for these. But there's this other nurse who's like, no, this is my flight, bitch.
Yeah, well, it was like politics. It had something to do with that rich guy, right?
Yeah, it was like his insurance company wanted this nurse who was with their insurance company and not the county nurse who like had experience. I just kind of got the vibe from that nurse. Like her attitude was like, this is my flight. I don't care how much experience you have over me. This is like my deal kind of thing.
Yes. So moral of the story is don't be a cunt at work. If you are, you will get killed in a helicopter crash. So there you go.
Okay, people. Like I asked, like you were talking about
Did you hear that, Slug Sisters?
Did you hear that bit? I lost my train of thought. Damn it.
It's all my fault, girl.
Oh, you were talking about how like the wind blew it off course. I always felt like it was also an inexperienced pilot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think that was like just the perfect storm of bad crap. Which makes me wonder how like much of a douchebag was this real estate guy for this to happen.
Well, I guess the moral there's a lot of morals of the story in this episode. I guess the moral of the story is if you're a rich real estate mogul or if you're just like a rich fucking bitch and you find yourself in the ER and you're swinging your dick around because of politics, don't. Because if you do, you will die in a horrible fire, in a horrible crash. All right. Any final notes on this episode?
So, like, they think Chuck is dead. So they think Chuck is dead in the helicopter accident, and Susan's, like, trying to keep her shit together. And then he, like, pops back up. And he's seemingly okay.
I will give it to Susan for like holding her shit together in this episode, despite like her thinking her like fiance is dead. Like she takes care of shit, and in the back of her mind, she's like, "Shit, like my fiance is dead, but I gotta deal with all these people around me." So shout out to her.
Like I love Susan. Susan did not get enough respect her second time around. She kind of got the short end of the stick because there's so much focus on fucking Abby. Another reason that Abby sucks. So.
And then, can we talk about the very end of the episode?
Yeah, let's talk about this.
I'll let you say it, because you have a lot of feels about it.
So, at this point, Carter has gone off to Africa for some missionary work. And we cut to Carter in Africa. And then this lady puts her arms around him and pulls him back to bed. That's our shot of Carter in this episode.
And it's not just a lady, it's Tandy Newton. Oh!
It's who?
You don't know? You have no idea who Tandy Newton is?
I just know she plays the woman that is like the worst match for Carter ever.
It's like her arc on this series sucked, but in real life, Tandy Newton is great. She's a fucking gal pal for sure. She was in Mission Impossible 2. She was in The Time Machine with Guy Pearce, and she's just fucking great. She's a fucking great gal pal. So I don't know. Shout out to her for being like in a shitty story arc on ER, but I don't know. But thank you for blessing. Thank you for getting paid.
Yeah. So like this is like I hate the Carter Africa stuff. Yeah. Like
it was definitely a low period of ER.
It just. Ugh.
I guess we had to go through it. We had to deal with it. Deal with it.gif.
We did have to go through it with it so we could get those last like 3 episodes of ER that had Carter in them. that were fucking amazing.
We got his victory lap at the very end.
Like, oh man, that final season of ER is actually really good. And then you get those last 3 episodes with Noah Wyle back, and it's like, oh fuck, this is good.
Yeah, Noel's back, swinging his dick around and at the Chicago hospital, just being Carter. Yeah, so shout out to him. Shout out to him for just for being Carter. We love you. Come back. Do a Carter spinoff, maybe. Just Carter. You know what? Let's find a way to like bring TV characters out of television into the real world, and you can be Mrs. Carter.
He's a little too tortured for me at this point, I think.
Or let's just find a Carter-like doctor.
Minus the Africa baggage.
Are you a doctor and you look like Noah Wyle? If you are, tweet us at Very Podcast and marry Kat. Marry Kat Halstead, the author, and I don't know, get divorced like 5 years later, and we'll live off the alimony forever. So we're waiting for it, girl. We're waiting for it. All right, you ready for a fuck, marry, kill ER style?
Okay, let's do this.
All right, let me think. I want to give you a good one. All right, Romano, Pratt, and Donald Logue's character.
Marry Donald Logue's character.
Ooh, yeah. Okay, I'll take that.
Fuck Pratt, kill Romano.
Ooh, okay, yeah, that was an easy one. I'm sorry. All right, how about this one? How about Ladies Edition? Abby, Susan, and the vag bleeding lady.
Kill Abby, marry Susan, and I wouldn't. The thing is, I wouldn't fuck the vag bleeding lady because she's HIV positive and she's bleeding.
Well, I don't know. Maybe you could just like finger her. How about finger, marry, kill?
Sing to her, yes, I'll sing to her.
It's a good old finger, marry, kill.
So yeah, okay.
But you would wait till she stopped bleeding, right, before you fingered her?
Yes.
All right. You wait till she feels better. Maybe a couple days later, you give her a good finger in.
God.
All right, so that's Finger, Marry, Kill Lady Edition here on the podcast, and Fuck, Marry, Kill. And, yeah, do you have any like last minute ER talks before we bid farewell?
Luca sucks, and I love that we basically forgot he was even there.
Oh yeah, sorry, we forgot to acknowledge you, but
Luca and Abby are pretty much the worst. The worst.
Yeah. I miss you, Carol. I wish Carol was in this episode. I wish they could have, like, I don't know, paid Juliana Margulies like $1 million just to appear in this episode for a hot minute. I don't know. She was off probably filming like one of her like canceled TV series around the time. Because I feel like she was in like a string of like canceled shows after ER, right?
Yeah. Well, she did like a mini series on TNT based on the Arthurian legend.
Yeah, well, like,
and then I don't know what she just did a bunch of stuff.
Like between ER and The Good Wife, she just had like a string of canceled shows. I feel like.
Yeah, she did. There's like Canterbury's Law. She was on Snakes on a Plane, Ghost Ship. She just did like really random.
That girl just did fucking everything.
Stuff.
Like whatever. Ghost Ship, Snakes on a Plane.
What's Cooking?
Yeah. The penis, My Imaginary Penis Fish movie.
Which is a great Thanksgiving movie if you can find it.
Slingshot, the Darren Awards, American Genocide. She did 2 episodes of Scrubs, a show called The Grid, The Lost Room, 4 episodes of The Sopranos, and then she finally in 2009 landed on The Good Wife, and I don't know, that was her like second big break. So shout out to her. Shout out to her for being on The Good Wife and blessing us for like, I don't know, like maybe she was on that for a while, right? It was like 7-8 seasons.
Yeah, The Good Wife lasted from 2009 to 2016.
Yeah, it was on for a while, and now it's been spun off. So ooga. All right. Are you ready for a controversial subject right now?
Oh, dear Lord. I'm terrified.
All right. So initially, we planned to do like 3 weeks of Thanksgiving episodes. So we had stuff lined up.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to delay those. Maybe we'll do them next year. So next week's episode, we have question marks because we didn't pick one.
Oh no! We're gonna have to figure that out.
This is like our palate cleanser before Christmas. So should we like live decision what we're gonna do next week?
Oh my gosh!
I have an idea.
Oh gosh!
I have a hot idea.
What is it?
This is something we brought up earlier in the episode. It is on our list to do, and we haven't done it yet. Will and Grace.
Yes, let's do some Will and Grace.
All right, so we're going to go into the OG world of Will and Grace next week. So, Will, Grace, Jack, Karen.
All that fun stuff.
Isn't Jennifer Lopez on an episode? Yeah. So get ready, girls. Get ready, because next week we're going to talk about Will and Grace. We're going to get into that world. We're going to get wild. We're going to get giddy. Maybe we'll pop some pills. Maybe we'll drink some martinis at 11 a.m. Who knows? Who knows?
You never know.
All right. Where can you follow us, Kat Halsey, the author? Where can you follow our wild adventures?
You can follow us on Twitter at Very Podcast. You can follow us on Instagram and Facebook at A Very Special Podcast. Same as Tumblr. And of course, averyspecialpodcast.com. or saltyrockmedia.com. And you can find us on YouTube. You just gotta search, because we don't have enough followers to make, like, an actual URL yet.
Exactly, girl. Exactly. And as always, Kat Halsey, the author, as always.
Bye.
And watch the skies for a helicopter, because it might crush you. And people won't find your body for weeks.